Nights have a way of swallowing a man whole. Some nights are just ordinary darkness, but some carry a weight, a thickness, a spiritual heaviness that presses against the chest like a warning. Andy walked straight into one of those nights, too blinded by desperation to feel the hand of fate tightening around his throat. The rain had ended hours ago, but puddles still glistened along the cracked pavement outside his small shop. From the doorway, he watched people rush past, umbrellas tucked under their arms, each one lost in the rhythm of their own survival. Nobody even looked at him anymore. Andy used to be the loud man on the street, the one cracking jokes, the one neighbors borrowed tools from. Now he was simply invisible. His shop's metal sign hung crookedly, half detached from the wall. The lights inside flickered with the same tiredness that lived in his bones. He had not eaten since morning. He had not sold a single thing in 2 days. Andy locked the shop and walked home, shoes slapping through puddles. With every step, resentment burrowed deeper. Why me? Why is suffering following me like shadow? Why does God watch silently while I drown? Those questions burned. And they were the exact questions Chief Arugo wanted burning. When Andy reached the small rented room he shared with Mira, he found her asleep on the mat, curled like a child exhausted from prayer. A candle burned beside her. She must have prayed again, prayed for him, for rent, for food, for hope, prayed like someone picking up pieces of a life she didn't understand how it broke. Andy stood there staring at her. Guilt stirred, but he buried it quickly. He noticed something under the door, a card. Thick. Black. Heavy. He picked it. Front, a golden sun with crimson rays. Back, one sentence in clean cursive script. Tonight. 11:45 p.m. The gate waits for those who are ready. No address, no instructions. But Andy knew who sent it. His heart shivered inside his chest. Not in fear, in excitement. A man drowning doesn't fear the hand that grabs him. Even if the hand belongs to a monster. He dropped the card into his pocket. Before Andy could lie down, Mira stirred awake. Andy, you're back. She rubbed her eyes, then sat up. I prayed for you. Again. I felt something today, a heaviness. Andy forced a smile, fake and stiff. You worry too much, he said. Mira frowned. It's not worry. It's warning. Something wants you, Andy. I saw shadows in my dream. Following you. Andy felt the card in his pocket, heavy like a stone. Mira, I beg. It's just stress. But Mira shook her head. I'm serious. Evil is looking at you. Her voice was soft but firm, the kind of tone that makes a man feel seen in ways he doesn't want. Andy turned away. He couldn't let her words dig too deep. Try sleep, he said quietly. Mira watched him for a long moment, her eyes full of a question she could not ask. Then she lay back down. Andy sat beside her, eyes open, waiting for the time to crawl toward midnight. At 11:35 p.m., the street outside their home trembled with the soft purr of a luxury engine, the kind that didn't belong anywhere near a street with rusted zinc roofs. Andy peeked through the curtain. A black SUV. Tinted. Silent. Expensive. His heart pounded. He checked on Mira one last time. She was asleep, her breathing gentle. For a moment, he almost stayed. Fate almost loosened its grip. But hunger is a persuasive demon. Andy stepped outside. The rear door opened before he touched it. Inside sat Chief Arugo, dressed in a simple but elegant black kaftan. A gold ring rested on his finger. His eyes were calm, too calm, like the surface of deep water. Come in, Andrew, Arugo said. Andy obeyed. The car pulled away. Not fast, not loud, smooth, controlled, like a creature moving with purpose. They drove into the quiet heart of a wealthy part of the city Andy had never stepped into. High walls lined with motion detectors. Estates guarded with iron gates. Gardens manicured like they belonged in another reality entirely. The SUV stopped before a house with no sign, no number, no identity, just a black gate with the symbol of the crimson sun. The gate opened automatically. Inside, the mansion glowed warm gold. Men in dark suits stood silently like statues. Andy felt small. Not physically, spiritually. The more he walked, the more he felt the weight of unseen eyes studying him. Chief Arugo led him inside without a word. In the main hall sat about 30 men. Wealthy men. Men Andy recognized from television, billboards, magazines. A governor. 2 billionaires. A popular bishop. They all turned when Andy entered. Their smiles were polite but empty, like masks stretched over something ancient. Andy swallowed. One of them whispered, "Fresh blood." Another chuckled softly. Chief Arugo raised a hand, and silence dropped instantly. "This," he said, "is Andrew Nwachukwu. And tonight, he will see truth." The men nodded. Andy felt the ground tilt beneath him. Chief Arugo guided him down a hallway lit only by oil lamps. The walls carried carvings, symbols Andy didn't understand. At the end of the hall was a large wooden door. Carved into it, the golden sun dripping crimson. Andy's stomach twisted. "Behind this door," Arugo said, "is the path you have been begging for all your life. Wealth. Power. Influence. The kind of life you envy." Andy looked at him. "What must I do?" Arugo smiled softly. "You will see." He opened the door. Andy stepped inside. The door closed behind him with a heavy thud. The room was circular. Walls covered in red cloth. Candles formed a ring around a black stone altar. In the center, a bowl of dark liquid. Thick. Iron-smelling. Andy's skin prickled. A hooded figure stepped forward. "Andrew Nwachukwu," the voice echoed, "do you seek elevation?" "Yes," Andy whispered, though his throat was dry. The figure pointed to the bowl. "Drink." Andy froze. "What is it?" "A covenant," the figure answered. "A bond older than your ancestors." Andy hesitated only a second too long. Chief Arugo's voice slipped into the room, calm and firm. "Destiny doesn't wait for cowards." Andy stepped forward, took the bowl, and drank. The liquid burned like fire. His vision blurred. His heart raced like a trapped animal. Then a booming voice filled the room. "We give you wealth. We give you power. But a price must be paid." Andy's breath caught. The hooded figure leaned close. "To join us fully, you must give us the one thing that proves loyalty." Andy swallowed hard. "What is that?" "Silence." "Then." "The person who loves you most." Andy's entire body went cold. "Mera," he whispered. The hooded figures nodded. "You know the requirement." His knees weakened. He grabbed the altar for support. This is murder," he stammered. "No," Chief Arugo said from the doorway, voice calm. "It is exchange. And every man here has paid it." Andy looked wildly at the circle of candles. He wanted to run. He wanted to scream. He wanted to say no. But then he remembered the debts. The shame. The hunger. The future slipping away. And inside his chest, something cracked. Chief Arugo stepped closer and placed a hand on his shoulder. "Wealth is not free, Andrew. But your suffering doesn't have to continue." Andy closed his eyes. And in the suffocating silence of that ritual chamber, he said the word that ruined his life forever. "Yes."